One. Hello and welcome to Dolphin Seminars and Dolphin Global Network channel. Today I have a great pleasure to welcome Becky Olatunji, who is from Nigeria. Becky is a life coach and she's going to tell a little bit about herself for us. Becky, welcome. I am very privileged to have you here. Could you please tell us a little bit
Thank you
about
very much.
yourself and how you became a coach?
Okay, thank you very much, Maria. Once again, my name is Becky Olatunji. I'm in Nigeria and I reside in Nigeria presently. Okay, so why I became a coach is I had such a very, very humble background. I'm not from a very privileged home. So while growing up, I have to do a lot of things like hawk, like sell things. In the morning, I have to sell before I go to school. When I come back from school, I have to hawk things around. So life was not too good for me. So as a young girl growing up, I was faced with lots of, um, should I call it at times, lot of temptation, should I call it temptation, or a lot of things that will have affected my future. And I also knew that while growing up, because I didn't have the right sex education from my parents, I didn't have the right knowledge of my sexuality, I made some decisions that really, really affected me and almost affected my life. So I went to school with much difficulties. And so becoming who I am today, it was a great, it was beyond my expectation. I never expected it. I never expected becoming who I am now. So when I saw that I was able to create a life for myself, despite the adversity I went through, despite the hard times I went through while growing up, I saw that there are lots of people that need this message. There are lots of people that need this image, this life that I'm living now. I need to show people that yes, you can become this, no matter where you're coming from, no matter your background, no matter where you're coming from. We don't choose who we are. We don't choose who we are born into, the family we are born into. We don't choose our background. But actually, we choose our future. So our future lies in our hand. We determine who we want to become in future. So we have a lot of stories of great people that despite where they were coming from, they became great people in future. So those are the pictures we need to start showing our people. And especially, I'm from Nigeria. There are a lot of negative news about Nigeria, fraud, all manner of things going on. But we need to show the young ones coming that you can be successful the right way. You don't have to defraud people. You don't have to cheat people to make it. So that is why I go into coaching. My passion is to help the young ones make the right decision so they can be a whole and sane generation. Thank
So
you.
transforming the lives of young people is the key for
Yeah.
your mission. Is that correct?
Yes. Everything I do. I'm a team mentor. I'm a sex and sexuality coach. I'm a family life practitioner. So can I take each one after the other?
Yes, please. If you can
So as a
explain a
team
little bit
mentor,
about each.
okay. So as a team mentor, like what I just explained now, the children have difficulty transitioning from um, teenagers, from children to preteens, from preteens to teens, then from teens to adulthood.
Yeah.
There are always issues, especially where I am come from. So is the period of teen is when the child is trying to discover self.
Yes.
So what I do is I mentor teenagers to discover themselves, having the picture of where they are going to in mind. Because if you don't know where you're going to, you will not know who you need to become to get there. So that is why I mentor teenagers with the picture of where they are going to. Now, if you want to be the next president of the country, then you need to start preparing now. You don't become an adult and then you now start preparing to be the president.
Yeah.
The best thing is for you to know, okay, I am going to be the president. It will inform the decision you are making. The other side, it will inform every decision you make daily. It will help you to choose your friend. It will help you to know what to read in your career and all that. So that is the team mentor part of it. I mentor teens to become a sane and whole adult. So also as a sex and sexuality coach, like I said, because of my background, going through school it was very, very tough. I each day I go to bed not knowing where my next day meal is going to come from. And as a young lady, it's a big temptation because you are having young men there, even old men, ready to give you what you want just for you to give them your body. So it was really, really a tough time for me. But because I made a decision, I have a picture in the future that I am going to be teaching young people to make the right decision. So I knew that in order for me to teach them how to make the right decision, I have to leave that decision now. So I made up my mind then that I am not going to give any man the glory of saying in future, if not because of me, she wouldn't have gotten her education. Yeah, I was the sugar daddy. In this place, we call old men that are having young girls sugar daddies. So I have a lot of them asking me out there. But I decided that no, I'm not going to go through that route because of where I was going. So it was really, really very tough for me. And also, like I said, I didn't have the right sex education, the right sexuality education. I have to teach myself. My parents did not teach me. It was a very, very tough time because when I was 18, I made a mistake. There is a boy my next door neighbor that we used to play, we used to touch our body. We are just exploring ourselves. We don't even know what we're doing. And it ended up into a mistake. Just the first time sex, I got pregnant. So it was a big something for me that up to now I still think about it. So if I had had the right sex education, I would have known that, okay, this is my private part. Nobody's supposed to go there. This is my public part. Yes, anybody can touch me there. So I decide, okay, young people should have the right sex education so that it will inform this kind of sexual decision they make. Because the kind of sexual decision you make also affects your future.
Yes.
So now, as a family life practitioner, I believe that every human being, the foundation begins from the home.
Yes.
Now, when we complain about a leader, now, for example, imagine Hitler. Imagine Hitler. Can you imagine the kind of parents he has? Now, yesterday I was talking about Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison is a blessing to humanity, but it would have been a blessing to humanity if the mother has not taken it on herself that let me teach my son, because the school said he's a slow learner. The mother refused to accept that Thomas Edison is a nobody, that is useless, is a slow learner, I can never learn. The mother did homeschooling for him, and we can see what Thomas Edison did now.
Yes.
So every greatness begins from the home. The home is the foundation of every human being. So if a leader is going to be great, it starts from the home.
Absolutely.
If a leader is not going to be great, it starts from the home. So the home has much influence, family has much influence on who we become in future. So for example, we like us, like me, I came from a polygamous family. My dad had 3 wives. I am the 11th child. We're 13. So my background is like nothing to write home about. I have to reprogram myself. I have to rediscover myself and learn that, okay, this is my mistake. This is where I'm coming from. I don't want my child to experience what I experienced. So I have to rebat myself. Let me put it that way, rebat myself. So what I do as a family life practitioner is to help families to create the right environment for their children so that they can become the great leader that they want them and we want them to be. So that is what I do. Thank you, Maria.
That is so much that resonates with me. I came from a very good background, from a very humble family, 6 children. and our parents were very loving
Wow.
and very preparing us for our future. But why it resonates is
Mm.
that I have seen in this country, in United Kingdom, and I am seeing this now in my home country, Poland, that the principles that you are uh, um, showing to people are needed here as well, because
Mm.
there is so much
Yes.
missing from the children. The children, in so many ways,
Exactly.
are deprived of the right thing, the right teaching, the right guidance, the right motivation, the right inspiration.
Uh,
And
exactly.
I think
Mm.
what you are doing is absolutely awesome, and I am confident that you are going to be someone very, very important in your country for what you are
Thank you
doing.
very much. Thank you very much.
The topics,
Thank
Becky,
you.
are absolutely necessary in everywhere. And sadly,
Mm.
the
Yes.
schools will not teach this. The schools
At
are
all. Mm.
really running a program of distraction rather than benefits, to be honest with you. Um,
Exactly.
and
Yes.
I
Yes.
feel that the schooling system is actually destroying the humanity in many ways. So
And yes. Yes.
so it is up to people like yourself, like many others, like Frankie, for instance, that we know, that need to set an example and help the young
Mm.
generation, because it's not us really, but we need to be the examples of
Mm.
those that are
No.
taking the baton from us very shortly. And they need
Yes.
to have the right
Yes.
settings, the right knowledge, the right examples to be able to take the world into a better future. Would you agree?
Yes, I do. I agree so much.
So,
Mm.
in many
Mm.
ways, would you say that people like yourself, if they had the right help from other coaches, would that be a wider reach for what you are doing and what can be done for the future generations?
Yes, yes. I believe so. You know, just like you said, this what I do is not only limited to Nigerians, is almost everywhere. Let me
Yes,
say it is almost
yes,
everywhere. There are a lot of you can see countries, the leaders, things, decision they are making, things are going down. It's just that the leader was once a child. So I love there was a time I was studying the culture of Korea.
mm-hmm.
You know, Korea and China, they have similar cultures.
Yes,
If you can see that these people, family is their number one value. They
yes,
value families a lot. And they believe that once the family is right, the society will be right. So most of their children, you will see them behaving well. And when they become leaders, they behave well too. So is culture, definitely culture really, really helps. It will help our message to go wide if we have culture that are receptive to new changes to our ideas. You know, it's just is a one thing for you to say I have solution. It's another thing for the culture to say yes, I actually have a problem, I need your solution.
yes.
So if we have cultures that are ready to, okay, let me see what our beliefs, is it really helping us, is it really helping our children, then we need solution. So those cultures can really, really help. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. I fully agree with you. I have a lot of respect to the Far Eastern countries because of the history and what they have developed.
Mm.
And in my country,
Yes.
there used to be a huge, very, very strong family tie culture. But I think in many ways, consumerism has actually turned this slightly apart. And in many ways, consumerism has a negative impact on this fact. And for instance, what I notice here in the Western world is that even things like housing, okay, is designed to keep people away from the house, so that the family is not together, is all over the place, because
separated, yes,
because the houses are so small that people
yes,
are feeling, you know, squeezed together, choking, okay?
yes,
So they are,
yes,
and they don't sit down to have a meal together. There is no discussion as such, because everyone is with the mobile phone and basically, you know, totally separate. It's very visible in the restaurant and public places, where you see that there is a family, but each and every one has a mobile phone, and there is no conversation. There is just sitting together but being separate. So that is why I feel consumerism has had also a negative effect on that unity, on the ability
yes, you're
to
right,
communicate properly between the family, between friends.
yes,
We are being torn apart, even with the lockdown, and you know, so there are forces which are really making us human beings estranged to one another, and
to one
that,
another, exactly,
yeah, and that creates the drift, that creates the social issues, lack of education, lack of awareness, and it is up to us coaches to be able to change that, isn't it?
yes, you're right, you're right. Now, if in order to have the best effective family, I always say that family needs to be intentional.
Yes.
Family needs to be intentional with what they want and how they are going to get it. Now, we just like you said, consumers actually create more divide between family than they bring unity. So if you as a family, you are intentional about the things you want, you should know the things that are harmful to your unity. So if it's all about the phone, there should be a time, family time, where no phones are allowed. So like eating together as a family, you should know that during mealtime, phones are not supposed to be by the table or by your dining area. So when you eat, I always encourage families to eat together because it's a time of bonding.
Absolutely.
That period, you can talk with each other, you can talk about whatsoever is happening, you get to know each other more. As a father, you get to know more about your child, what is happening to your child. But it can't happen if we're using one hand to eat and we're using one hand to press our phones.
Yes.
So we need to be very, very intentional. The family time out, you should have as a family, you should have maybe once a week, or once, I would prefer once a week, where you go out together as a family.
Yes.
Without digital devices, without technology. So just know, everybody drop your phones at home. We are going to the cinema. We're going for shopping. We're going to the park. So that period you bond, actually our phones, our digital devices do more divide us. Though they have advantages, they have disadvantages. So we have to be very, very intentional about the things that is harmful to us as a family, that is affecting our unity. And we need to put measures in place to guide against such things.
Exactly.
So as a parent, there's nothing wrong in you having a time out for the phones. I have a parent that when it's 7 p.m., everybody in the house drop their phones with the father. So whether you sleep by 12 is nobody's business, but you are not with your phone anymore. So that period they can use to talk before they go to bed.
Yes, they
so
can
we
use.
need to be very, very intentional. Let me just say, intentionality is key. We need to be intentional.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that planning the day with the family, planning the week with the family, it's that intentionality which you are mentioning, and that
Yes.
is absolutely vital for every family,
Yeah.
and even for friends. Never mind family, but
Mm.
friends as well. You know, when you are mixing with other people, that is also important, and that must be also intentional, because it has to be planned out properly
Mm. True.
and received properly, isn't it?
Mm.
Having a
Yeah.
meeting with
Yes, you're
somebody
right.
who is with the face in the telephone is not a meeting, isn't it? It's just sitting and watching
No.
another person. So yes,
Mm. Mm.
we have a lot of changes to implement, and lots of work to be
Yes,
done.
we do.
And people like yourself are absolutely vital for every community and every country.
Mm. Yes.
Becky, what
Thank you very
message
much.
do you
Yes.
have to the families out there and to the teenagers out there?
Okay. So the message I'm going to say to the family is, if we want a better future, we need to start from us. You know, just like Michael Jackson said that the man in the mirror. So if you are looking forward to a society that is great, a society that is conducive for your children, a society that is best, that is okay, just any society, the society you are looking for, you need to make your home that future that you want to see. So you start from your home, start from your family, empowering. You know, we have so much beliefs that we think like, because my parents pass it down to me, I need to pass it to my children. You know, times have changes, times differs. So know what is helping you and be intentional about the future you want to create, and start creating it now. Now is the key. And then for teenagers, I would like to encourage the teenagers that no matter what stage you are in now, you can be the person you have ever dreamed to be. You want to be a Cristiano Ronaldo, you can be better than Cristiano Ronaldo. You want to be the best, so you want to be Justin Bieber, you can be better than Justin Bieber. You want to be Michael Jordan, you can be better than Michael Jordan. All you just need to do is identify who you are and put in the work to be who you want to be. So that is what I have for the teenagers. Thank you very much.
That's a very powerful message, Becky. Thank you so much. And Becky, can we put
Thank you.
the
I really
details
appreciate it.
of how to contact you below our video, so people who are watching this video and would like to contact you for working with you can contact you? Is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Wonderful. So
It's okay. So I'm going to share my link. I'm going to share my link with you. So
yes,
my link
please.
tree. So anybody can just go there and see what I do, and also contact me if they want to.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I am very grateful for that conversation.
Welcome.
And to everyone out there, please do contact Becky, because she has a very valuable message for every teenager and for every family out there in the world. Becky, I'm very grateful for your time. Thank you very much for being with us. And I'm looking forward to see you and discuss with you your
Thank
career
you. Thank
further.
you.
Thank you.